Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into, well, some pretty unexpected drama around Kanye West's Donda 2 album.
Yeah, it's definitely making waves. The album's actually out, but now there's talk that some producers want it pulled.
Pulled from streaming. That's pretty serious.
Exactly. And that's kind of the core of our deep dive today. We want to figure out, what's behind this conflict? What does it tell us about the music biz, collaboration, and, well, getting paid?
Right. And our main source for this is a TMZ article that dropped April 30th, 2025.
So let's lay out the key people involved here.
Okay. Obviously, there's Kanye West, or Ye.
Mm-hmm. And then there's someone named DeAndre Freemaiden. He's apparently an associate of Yes, sort of managing the producers.
Got it. And the producers who are making the noise.
That's Jamal, Boogs the Beast, Gwen and Brian, All Day Miller.
Boogs the Beast and All Day Miller. And what's the main sticking point?
Well, they're claiming they haven't been paid for work they did on, get this, 8 songs on Donda 2.
8 songs. Wow. And they're asking for money, I assume?
Oh, yeah. The report says they're demanding around $3 million.
$3 million. That's quite a sum.
It is. And Ye apparently responded on X, Twitter.
What did he say?
According to the article, he sort of scoffed at the $3 million figure. And he even hinted that he basically taught them how to make beats.
Oh, okay. So like a mentorship angle versus direct payment. That's complicated.
It really is.
Yeah.
Mentorship has value, absolutely, but there's also the expectation of being paid for, well, professional work delivered.
Especially on an album that had so much buildup. I remember the whole journey, that big listening event in Miami.
Right. Huge anticipation. And here's an interesting wrinkle from the TMZ piece.
Yeah.
Originally, Boogs and Brian were supposed to be involved in releasing the album on Ye's stem player device.
Oh, right. The stem player, where you can kind of remix the tracks yourself.
Exactly. But those plans got scrapped later on.
So the initial agreement might have been tied to that specific release method.
It seems likely. A stem player exclusive release probably involves different financials, maybe different royalty splits or upfront payments compared to just, hitting Spotify and Apple Music.
That makes sense. So changing the release plan could definitely muddy the waters on payment.
Mm-hmm. And it seems this isn't just about Boogs and All Day. The article also mentions another producer, ATL Jacob.
What about him?
He apparently also claims he's waiting on payment for his work on Donda 2.
Okay, so that adds another layer. It suggests maybe a pattern or at least more than one dispute happening.
Yeah, and, the tone of the TMZ article sort of subtly questions things like, here's Ye, obviously very wealthy, and then you have these claims about unpaid work.
Right. Does raise questions. Looking beyond just this specific case, what does it say about the industry? Are these kinds of disputes common?
They happen more than you might think, though maybe not always this publicly with such a high-profile artist. It really highlights how crucial clear contracts are.
So things like, are producers paid a flat fee? Do they get royalties?
Exactly. It could be a flat fee, points on the record, which means a percentage of royalties, or some combination. But without a clear signed agreement before the work starts, well, you can end up here.
And what power do producers actually have if they feel they haven't been paid, especially if they're up against a huge star?
Their leverage often comes down to copyright. If they contributed significantly to the songwriting or the beat itself, they might co-own the copyright. Threatening to pull the music, like we're hearing now, is basically asserting that ownership claim.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about the money, it's about the actual rights to the music they helped create.
Precisely. That's their main bargaining chip.
So wrapping this up a bit, the core conflict is pretty clear. Producers say they're owed millions. They're threatening to take action against a major album release.
Yep. And it throws a spotlight on that whole complex relationship between creative input, value, and how people actually get compensated in music.
It really makes you consider all the sides, the artist's vision, the producer's actual work and skill, and the business deals holding it all together.
Definitely. And how cases like this get resolved or don't get resolved could really shape how collaborations work in the future. Something to keep an eye on.